Hi there, I'm Sheila Maria and I am a psychic medium. Are your psychic abilities blocked? Now, this is really for people that have been aware that they had psychic abilities and now those psychic abilities appear to have plateaued or they're not as strong as they were, rather than people that are at the very beginning of their journey. So, number one, I don't class psychic abilities as being blocked if you've never tried to develop them. If you've never tried to develop them, it's also very difficult to tell you what your psychic abilities are. Very often people will say to me, well, what are my gifts? They're not a gift unless you use them. So this is really for people that have noticed a change in how their ability works. The number one reason that this happens is that your life purpose right now has changed. So I say we have life purpose, which is for the whole of your life, and soul purpose, which is for the period that you are in. And it's usually the last 3 months and the next 3 to 6 months. So if your life purpose has changed, if your soul purpose has changed, what that means is your abilities change as well, because you need new abilities or different abilities when your soul purpose changes. So let's say that the focus of your soul was intimate relationships. And because you needed to navigate those intimate relationships, your clairsentience was very strong and your gut feeling was very strong. And then your soul purpose changes into the focus being to do with your career. Well, in that case, it may well be that your clairvoyance gets stronger or your overall intuition gets stronger. But you also have to bear in mind psychic abilities are turned down if you have a particular life lesson that you need to master. So if your life lesson is to master, for example, balance, then it may well be that if you're spending too much time in the spiritual realms, there is a lack of balance with your physical life. And so what they did to me, until I learned this lesson, all my guides stepped back until I engaged in my physical life more. When I did that, they turned my abilities back up. If the lesson that you're learning is to do with trusting yourself, sometimes your guides will step back and they will turn down your clairaudience or your clairvoyance if you're reaching out to them more than is helping you. Okay, so the main reason that your psychic abilities plateau is if you're not listening to your own intuition and if you're relying too much on the spirit realm and not enough on your own common sense. The other reason that your psychic abilities may plateau is that you've gone up so much within your vibration that they are no longer psychic abilities, they are spiritual abilities. So the difference between psychic and spiritual is this. Psychic is reading the immediate past, the immediate present, and the likely future. What's happened, what's happening, what's likely to happen. And spiritual is, why did it happen? Why is it happening? Why might it happen? And what is the reason behind it? What is the meaning of it? So if you have gone from noticing that your psychic abilities were very pronounced and now it seems to have plateaued, it's because you're being called to work at a stronger spiritual core. And I will say to you, your higher self, I call your true self, because if you were to die now, you would lose all the fear you had, all the jealousy, all the worry, and you would see life as a complete adventure. Very few of us are able to look at our life challenges in the moment in that way. But you are the writer of your own life plan. Everything that we go through, we contracted, I believe, to go through. I don't believe we attracted it all. I believe we contracted it. That's just my personal experience. And what I will say is the version of the true self is that it's always worth all of it. To the self that's here on the ground, it can feel very harsh, very unnecessary, and very unfair. So when your abilities seem to turn off at a time that you really need them, very, very often it's because you are at the point of learning something very, very important about how strong you are, how courageous you are, and who you really are. And once you're through this protracted period, what always happens when we go through a difficult phase and we start to understand why we're going through that phase, not necessarily when we're through it or when it's over, because sometimes these phases, such as ill health, can go on for a long time. But as we understand who we really are as we're going through that difficult phase, what happens is that more of our true self comes into our physical aura here. Our aura becomes stronger, not just brighter, not just a high vibration, a strong vibration. You become who you really are here, and you are then more visible to the guides that support you, and they are more perceptible to you, because in the spirit realms you are with them in those realms. So when I ask my guide Orion for advice, there's a part of him that's like, oh, Sheila's talking to me again. And it's the seventh dimensional version of me that is putting the question from the third dimensional version of me. Okay? So when your vibration becomes stronger as a result of understanding why you're going through something as far as you are able, even though you may have lots of, upset around you, what happens is that your aura gets brighter and stronger, and your psychic abilities and your spiritual abilities return with a vengeance. So we will say that the only time your psychic abilities are ever truly blocked is when there's something that you're scared of hearing or scared of seeing. And that can both be because you saw or heard or were told something that upset you, perhaps by another psychic, or because you had a paranormal experience that made you go, no, I don't want that, or because there's an issue in your life that you're scared is going to hurt or upset you. So, you do this and you do this, and when we avoid something, we shut down our psychic abilities as well. I love to help people develop their spiritual abilities, and I work with light workers, I work with angel souls, I work with trance channelers, I work with shamans. I would love to help you open your spiritual abilities, because your psychic abilities improve then as well. Do reach out to me over at www.sheilamaria.com/work with me. Lots of love from me, lots of love from them. We love you very much. Goodbye for now.